Hey guys, so this is the GB-136 3-inch frame that I built out, and not going to really cover the parts too much here because the parts aren't of too much consequence other than the motors, and I'll get into that in a second. This is sort of a lightweight 3-inch frame. Arms are single connected arms here in the front and back. Kind of looks like a Floss 2, but uses M2 standoffs instead of M3, and I'm just using pretty generic 10 amp 401 AC and an omnibus. I think it's an F3 flight controller, VTX03, and like a fly sky receiver in the back there. I'll put all the parts in the description. The reason I wanted to build this was mainly to use these motors. These are the 1105 5000 kV motors, and I wanted to run on a 3-inch setup on 3S with a top mounted battery. Yeah, I wanted to do a sort of an efficiency build as a benchmark to some of the other builds I'm doing for the 1304, 1404 size motors, to do sort of some comparisons, and that's why I built this. Also, the RTF version, or the plug and play version of this that's coming out, that's not out yet, I believe it uses 1104 7000 kV motors, so I wanted kind of something similar. The whole mounting pattern for the motors is for 9mm motors, so it'll only work with these 11 size motors or the 1304 size motors from RCX. That's kind of why I think they designed this frame for sort of lighter builds, and that's what I went for. Basically, the bottom line is I ended up with an 8.5 minute flight on a 550 3S lipo. It's the one that came with the eShane Lizard 95. So not a great battery, but I'm not drawing a lot of current. I'm just cruising around, and I wanted to see how much flight time I can get out of an 1105 low kV motor, and that's kind of where my baseline is for comparisons to other future builds in the 3-inch class for the 13 and 14 size motors. So if you guys are following along with my videos, you'll have an idea what I'm talking about and where this is going. If you decide to get this frame and build it out, you're going to have to probably go with an 11 size motor with a 3-inch prop on, if you go to a higher kV, like say 7500 kV, 1104, you probably have to do 2S only. If you go to a lower kV, like 5000, 4500 kV, you can do 3S, so keep that in mind. That's kind of what you're looking for a 3-inch build. Now, these motors on 3-inch don't have a lot of power. They're not really known for power, they're more known for efficiency. So if you're looking to build this for power and speed, this isn't the right frame for you. You probably want to get a different 3-inch frame that has the 12mm hole pattern, so you can get like some really monster size 1407 or 1508 size motors. This frame is not definitely not for you. One other thing I want to talk about in terms of the frame is the camera mount. It came with these little carbon pieces that go into these slots here, and then these standoffs are blocking the screw hole for the camera mount. So basically it's a total flaw in the design. It's possibly why the RTF version of this isn't out yet. They're probably going to correct it. I don't know if they're going to correct it in the frame that they're selling. Hopefully they will. But if they don't, it's not the end of the world. I did find these 3D printed camera mounts on Thingiverse, and I think they're actually meant for like the Floss. So it's kind of funny that it'll work with this. It's actually meant for M3 standoffs. You can see the holes are bigger. There's space there. Even these are M2 standoffs, but it works, and the camera holds in fine. It's secure. Doesn't jiggle around or anything like that. So if you end up getting this frame, you can't use the included camera mounts. You have to use this 3D printed part. It just moves the camera a little bit more forward, as you can see, and if you want a little bit of angle there, and keep the connector out of the flight control stack, you have to move the connection point or the mounting hole a little bit forward. And when you do that, it's going to get very close to the props. So you got to make sure it's nice and centered, but I'm not having any issues with prop strikes. But yeah, that's going to get very close to your camera if you guys are worried about that. This is about how close it's going to get, about 2mm on each side, so it should be totally fine. And I'll put a link in the description to this Thingiverse file. You can print out the camera mount yourself, and it'll work just fine. And I like the build. Flies great, very smooth, nice cruiser, 8.5 minute flight time. So no complaints. I'll put a link in the description to the parts I used and some other suggested parts that you could probably use to duplicate this build if you want to. Go ahead and show you the very long 8.5 minute flight. Kind of boring, just flying around the park. So you might want to speed it up or speed through it if you want to just get an idea of how this flies. It flies pretty good. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.